Days of Our Lives Spoilers flooding back, Johnny's dark secret finally exposed by Susan. In Salem, secrets never stay buried for long, and the latest turmoil surrounding E.J. DiMera and his son Johnny promises to send shockwaves through the town that no one will soon forget. For weeks, viewers have been watching the mystery unfold about who really pulled the trigger that landed E.J. in the hospital, and now the truth is closer than ever to being revealed. And it's far darker than anyone could have imagined. After a harrowing stint at the hospital, E.J. has finally been released to return home. Although his body is healing, his mind remains clouded, and the full memories of that terrible night continue to elude him. But he's not returning alone. At his side, fiercely protective as ever, is his eccentric and psychic mother, Susan Banks. And she's not about to let the truth stay hidden. As E.J. steps back into the familiar halls of the DiMera mansion, he's immediately confronted by his son Johnny. The reunion is anything but warm. Johnny, fueled by anger, guilt, or perhaps something even deeper, lashes out at his father with words that cut to the bone. "You're dead to me," he spits out, leaving E.J. reeling and setting the stage for an emotional and dangerous confrontation. Watching this painful exchange, Susan Banks feels a chill run down her spine. Her psychic instincts, honed over years of communing with forces beyond the ordinary, tell her something is terribly wrong. There's a darkness around Johnny, a heaviness, a hidden secret, and Susan can feel it pulsing like a storm about to break. Despite E.J.'s struggle to piece together what happened, Susan refuses to sit idly by. She's determined to uncover the truth, even if it means exposing a family scandal that could destroy them all. Susan begins her own investigation in her unique way, using her spiritual gifts to pick up psychic impressions, laying her hands on objects, and feeling the energies left behind. She places her hands on Gabby Hernandez and immediately recoils, sensing the vicious energy that lingered in the mansion that fateful night. Susan quickly puts two and two together. Gabby was there. She may not have pulled the trigger, but she saw something. She knows more than she's admitting. And that something is about to come out, whether Gabby likes it or not. Meanwhile, E.J. continues to wrestle with fragmented memories. He recalls moments of chaos, shadowy figures, the glint of a weapon, the sudden, heart-stopping pain. But the pieces don't fit together. He needs a push, something to trigger the full recollection. And that push comes from Susan. In a tense, emotionally charged scene, Susan gently but firmly tells E.J., "Your son is hiding something terrible." Her words pierce through the fog in E.J.'s mind, unlocking a door that has remained stubbornly closed. Suddenly, a vivid flashback assaults his senses. This time, it's not just vague impressions. E.J. clearly sees Johnny standing there, holding Roman Brady's gun, the very weapon used in the shooting. Johnny's hands are steady. His face is cold, determined. And worse, he's aiming the gun directly at E.J. The realization is devastating. All along, the evidence was buried deep in E.J.'s own mind, suppressed by trauma and shock. Johnny, his own flesh and blood, was standing over him with a gun. And for the first time, it's undeniable. But the question remains, did Johnny actually pull the trigger? E.J. is tormented by doubt. Could his son really have tried to kill him? Or is there a more complicated truth hidden beneath the surface? Susan, relentless as ever, refuses to let E.J. fall into denial. She confronts Johnny, using her unique talents to break through his defenses. Her psychic senses, combined with a mother's unyielding intuition, make Susan a force to be reckoned with. She lays bare Johnny's fear, his guilt, and finally, his confession. Johnny didn't mean for things to go so far. He was angry, overwhelmed, desperate to make his father pay for years of resentment and hurt. But he never intended for the gun to go off. Or so he claims. Now, the DiMera family faces a nightmare decision. Does E.J. turn his son into the authorities, branding him a criminal and tearing the family apart forever? Or does he find a way to protect Johnny, burying the truth once more to save what little remains of their shattered relationship? E.J.'s heart is torn in two. On one side stands his duty to justice and his own survival. On the other stands his love for his son, a bond that even betrayal cannot easily sever. Susan, meanwhile, pushes E.J. to see reason, to realize that without accountability, Johnny may be lost forever, consumed by his own darkness. And the town of Salem watches and waits. Will EJ choose loyalty to his son over justice for himself? Will Johnny's terrible secret be exposed to the world? Will Susan's relentless pursuit of the truth save or destroy the DiMera family? At the beginning of the week, ominous signs begin to surface. It becomes clear that Johnny's future is teetering on a dangerous edge, with the very real possibility that he could soon be facing jail time. The trouble brewing in his life doesn't stop with the law. His marriage to Chanel, once seen as one of the few bright lights in his chaotic existence, is beginning to crack under the pressure of mounting personal failures and broken promises. The situation with Chanel takes a devastating turn when Johnny, overwhelmed by guilt, confusion, and emotional turmoil, tells her that he's not sure he can go through with the adoption they had been planning together. Chanel, who had pinned so many hopes and dreams on building a family with Johnny, is left absolutely shattered. In the promo, the heartbreaking scene plays out with Chanel standing at the door, tears streaming down her face, while Sophia and Tate look on helplessly, unable to mend the gaping wound now splitting Chanel and Johnny apart. The seeds of Johnny's collapse were planted earlier in the week. On Monday, he sought guidance from Marina, who tried to counsel him through his growing doubts about his relationship with his father, EJ. But the turmoil within Johnny runs too deep for easy solutions. In the promo for next week, the magnitude of Johnny's emotional damage becomes fully evident when he faces EJ and, in a moment of white-hot rage, tells his father that he is dead to him. But Johnny's descent does not end with angry words. It takes a violent and terrifying turn. Inside a room at the Salem Inn, a place that now serves as a refuge rather than a home, Johnny's inner demons explode outward. Tate confronts him, furious over Johnny's actions and perhaps even his treatment of Chanel. Tempers flare, and before anyone can intervene, Tate lands a brutal punch squarely on Johnny's face. It's a shocking moment, but one that feels almost inevitable given the explosive tensions swirling around Johnny's life. Adding to the chaos, viewers see the chilling flashback. Johnny, in a moment of uncontrolled fury, points a gun at his own father. He threatens to kill EJ, his own flesh and blood, an act that even in a town as turbulent as Salem, strikes a nerve of pure horror. Although it seems Johnny ultimately does not pull the trigger, the damage is done. The bridge between father and son has been burned to ash. As Johnny walks away from his family, viewers are left wondering, will he walk away from Chanel too? Or will she, heartbroken and betrayed, be the one to close the door on him forever? Johnny's stay at the Salem Inn speaks volumes. No longer welcome under Paulina Price's roof and unable or unwilling to face Chanel after shattering her dreams, he has retreated into isolation. For those who know Johnny, it's almost unimaginable to think of him alone, adrift in a hotel room instead of being with his beloved wife. Yet here he is, a man who once had it all, love, family, a promising future, now standing amid the wreckage of his own making. Poor Johnny has been through the ringer, and sadly, it looks like the worst is yet to come. With the threat of jail hanging over his head and the equally painful possibility of a divorce looming, Johnny's world is crumbling faster than he can rebuild it. The once hopeful vision of a future with Chanel, raising a family together, is slipping further and further away. For Chanel, the betrayal cuts deep. This was supposed to be the next chapter in their love story. Adoption, family, building a life rooted in hope and love. Instead, she finds herself abandoned emotionally and physically by the man she trusted most. Will she ever be able to forgive him? Can a love so battered by lies, violence, and broken promises ever find its way back to safety? As for Johnny, he stands at a crossroads. If he continues down this dark and self-destructive path, he risks losing everything, not just Chanel but his own future as well. Redemption is possible, but it will require humility, honesty, and a willingness to confront the pain he has caused. Whether Johnny has the strength to face his demons remains to be seen. And then there is the specter of the law. If Johnny is charged for his actions, jail time could become a grim reality. Salem's justice system does not look kindly on acts of violence, even among family members. Will EJ, wounded both physically and emotionally, press charges against his own son? Or will he, despite everything, protect Johnny one last time? The days ahead in Salem will be filled with uncertainty, heartbreak, and hard choices. For Chanel and Johnny, the dream they once shared lies in pieces at their feet. Whether they can pick them up and rebuild or whether this marks the final end of their journey together remains the aching question at the heart of this unfolding drama. One thing is certain, Johnny's actions have set off a chain of events that cannot be undone. And the ripples will be felt throughout Salem for a long time to come. Will Johnny be able to win Chanel back? Will Chanel find the strength to forgive? Or will the love they fought so hard for become just another casualty of secrets and broken promises? Stay tuned, because the storm is only beginning, and no one in Salem will be left untouched.